Hello, first graders. Happy Friday. Elbow, elbow, namaste. Where did this week go? Went by fast. I hope that you're hanging in there. I miss you. So it's time for us once again to continue reading this cool book, Follow Me Around Ireland. So one of our purposes in reading this has been to try to practice distinguishing between the main idea and the details. And we've learned lots of interesting details so far about where Ireland is. Here's a map. And we learned about some of the traditions in Ireland, like the restaurants, and we learned about the homes and how Irish people love to talk. We learned a little bit about what Irish people eat, potatoes, and fit seafood, and some of these other cool dishes. All of these things that I'm talking about, though, those are details that will hopefully get into our brains for the rest of our lives. They're not the main idea. The main idea of this book would not be that people in Ireland love to eat potatoes, or that the people in Ireland speak English and Gaelic. The main idea of this book is not that in Ireland people can go to college for free. And it's not that in Ireland people speak both a language where the consonants have more than one sound. Those are all details. The main idea is what all those details combine to make, and they all combine to make the idea of all about what? Ireland. So the main idea of this book is all about Ireland. But the details are what make it interesting. So today we're going to read page 14 and 15, 16 and 17, and they all have this same subtitle. Can you read it? It says Touring Ireland. So this is all about touring, means traveling or visiting. So what are some of the places we're going to see when we visit Ireland? So the first smaller subtitle, it says Dublin, the capital city, Dublin. Before we read the words, you always want to look at the pictures. So here's a picture of a place called Phoenix Park. Dublin Spire. A spire is like a thin tower. Spire. The bridge over the river Liffey. I've been to Dublin, and there is a major river that splits down the middle of Dublin, River Liffey. And this is the trains or subways that they have in Dublin. And then the caption here says, the interior of a medieval house at Dublinia. Medieval house at Dublinia. So let's read the words. It says, welcome to my city, Dublin. Remember, this is being told from the point of view of the character Seamus. Dublin is the capital of Ireland. It's almost 10 times bigger than any other city in the country. When you go to Dublin, the first place you'll want to visit is Dublin Spire. At 398 feet tall, almost 400 feet tall, it is the city's tallest structure. When the sunlight hits this steel monument, it looks like it's changing colors. Wow! The spire is so tall you can see it for miles. Next, head over to Dublin Castle. King John of England built this castle in the year 1204, so almost a little more than 800 years ago. Visit the Thorn Room and you'll feel like royalty. After that, explore Phoenix Park. This park is completely surrounded by an old wall. Inside, you'll spot the home of Ireland's president. So our president lives in the White House. The president of Ireland lives here in Phoenix Park. Cool. I did not know that. On this page, page 15, it says, "You will see lots of bridges in my city." That's true. They crisscross over the river Liffey. If you want, there, can you see better? If you want a break, go to my favorite spot, the Aqua Zone at the National Aquatic Center. It has a wave pool, water slides, a surfing machine, and more. You can get wet and have fun. Unfortunately, there's not a picture of that, but that sounds like fun. One last thing you must see is Dublinia in the Old City. You will learn about medieval Dublin when the Vikings lived here. You can even attend a medieval fair. Try on clothing or visit a pie stall. Check out the medicine tent for a look at how doctors worked long ago, if you're not too squeamish. You can also play an old-style drum or learn to juggle. There's so much to do there. To dart off to the nearby cities and villages for a quieter experience, take the DART. DART is the name of the train. DART. That's the Dublin Area Rapid Transit. This train is fast and affordable, the DART. Now on page 16, the subtitle is Other Cities. Look at that picture. That castle, the caption is King John's Castle in Limerick. Remember, city of Limerick, where Mrs. Bergen's relatives are from. And then Galway's Carib Walk. So we're going to learn about Limerick. We're going to learn about Galway. And then over here, it is a picture. This is a picture of a bog. Ireland has lots of bogs. We'll learn a little bit about that. And then this picture says the Cliffs of Moher. One of the most famous sites in all of Ireland, the Cliffs of Moher. They're awesome. So let's read. It says, "Speaking of Vikings, go to Limerick. This city started as a Viking settlement in about the year 812. So that would be about 1,208 years ago, if my math is correct. It lies on the River Shannon, which is Ireland's largest and longest river. Two must-see sites are King John's Castle, that's this, and a church called St. Mary's Cathedral. Both buildings are more than 800 years old. Next, head to the city of Galway. This city is chock full of medieval buildings. You're sure to hear traditional Irish music here, from a lively dancing jig to a beautiful solo song called Sean-Nós. This is also one place where you can use your new Irish vocabulary. Lastly, weave south along our winding roads to Cork on the coast. You can hop on a boat to tour the nearby smaller islands. You might even spot a circus or a group of puffins. So a group of puffins, those are birds, really cute birds, kind of like a cross between a seagull and a pelican. But the group of birds is called a circus. And page 17, other fun places. It says, take time to stop at one of the castles that dot the Irish countryside. My favorite is the Rock of Cashel. It is a small hill with an ancient castle sitting on top. Other popular castles include Blarney Castle and Ashford Castle, which is now a luxury hotel. Don't forget to stop at one of our national parks. We visit Connemara National Park every summer. It has mountains, lakes, bogs, and a lot of animals and rare plants. If you head west to the Atlantic Ocean, you'll see the famous Cliffs of Moher. It's the most visited natural landmark in Ireland, and for good reason. When you stand at the top of these cliffs for a view of the ragged, beautiful coastline and the ocean far below. And when you stand on those cliffs and look out over the ocean, when you look out there, there's no land until you get over to North America, to Canada and the United States. It's very cool. All right, so next time on Monday, we'll keep reading, and we're going to read about our fascinating history of Ireland. And look at this. What's this thing called here? Starting from the year 6000 before until all the way up to 1948. What do we call that? It's our timeline. So we're going to learn about the timeline. Do you remember who's this guy? St. Patrick. We're going to learn about him. And then we're going to learn some interesting facts about some interesting things that came from Ireland. And then later next week, we'll learn about how some things that the culture and people of Ireland celebrate. We'll learn about games and sports that they play in Ireland. See that? And then some unbelievable facts. So that's all what's coming up. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed the book this week. I'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care.